Right now, a new Free State Premier is expected to be elected and announced today. It follows the resignation of Sisi Ntombela, who lost the race for provincial chair against Mxolisi Dukwana. The ANC has endorsed Dukwana for the position. Our reporter Moloko Moloto is in Bloemfontein for us, and he joins us now live. So, Moloko, the provincial leaders there held a briefing earlier. What did they have to say exactly?
Hello, Masego. Indeed, the leaders of the ANC were essentially telling us that, telling us what we know already, that Mxolisi Dukwana is going to be standing for election in a moment from now, specifically from 2:15 this afternoon, as a replacement for Sisi Ntombela, whom we know resigned early this week. And of course, they have had to surmount, perceptions that they are purging those who did not agree with them, leading to the provincial conference that elected Mxolisi Dukwana, who defeated Sisi Ntombela. And they are saying they don't purge, they are not removing anyone, they are in the process of renewing themselves as an organization. Interestingly, they are saying that they believe Sisi Ntombela as premier did a good job, going further to say that she inherited the work from the previous premier, Ace Magashule, and she laid a solid foundation, which they say the incoming premier, Mxolisi Dukwana, is going to be building on. Yet we know that there are still issues here, municipalities that are in a state of paralysis. We know recently that municipalities, several of them, returned about 800 million rand to the National Treasury, money that had been allocated for services in municipalities. They returned that money to the National Treasury when in areas such as Botshabelo, the people there, Masego, are still using the bucket system. They don't have proper sanitation facilities. In some instances, people are battling with water provision, and yet this government has returned money to the National Treasury. They did not tell us where they are taking Sisi Ntombela to, but they are saying she will be redeployed. Maybe let's listen to the deputy chairperson of the ANC in the Free State, Mr. Toto Makome, who was telling us that it is in the culture of the ANC all the time to assess itself and make changes as they are needed.
The prerogative of composing the government lies with the premier. He will come and discuss with us as the ANC. But he's the only one who will say, I changed the department, I changed these individuals in this manner. Not because they have not supported the current PC. You are not giving individuals the right to change individuals that have had their own right to support whoever that they support in the conference of the ANC. Actually, it was good. It was one conference in the ANC that has never had for some times, where you have comrades contesting each other peacefully and freely without any intimidation and without any coercion that people will be expelled. So it is not true that people who have not voted for the current PC are being purged or are being removed. The fact of the matter is that the ANC has arrived at a point where we need to actually review the structure as to how are we going to serve our people better.
And Moloko, what is the former Premier Sisi Ntombela saying? This, I believe, would be the first time that we've heard from her since Tuesday.
Well, maybe quickly before I give you the reaction of the outgoing Premier Sisi Ntombela, the other changes that are happening here in the Free State, Masego, are at the metro, the only metro of Mangaung in the Free State. We know they told us that Mxolisi Dukwana, the executive mayor there, today resigned as the executive mayor, and they say the process to replace him is already underway. They are telling us that the national officials of the ANC are all going to be interviewing the three candidates who are going to be replacing the outgoing Mxolisi Dukwana, and their names being Gregory Ntatisi, a veteran of the ANC here in the Free State, but also Lulama Otiti Odili Titi. She is currently a member of the mayoral committee serving under the outgoing executive mayor. And Lawrence Matahe, the man who in November was elected as the regional chairperson of the ANC in Mangaung conference, the regional conference that was endorsed by the National Executive Committee of the ANC on Monday. Now, the premier, outgoing premier Sisi Ntombela, was asked, just to reflect on her performance given the challenges that still plague these municipalities. We spoke about the bucket toilets in areas such as Botshabelo, and she's telling us that she's going to be handing over a report and to hand over a report to the incoming premier, and then she's saying we can question her about her performance. Now, she responding to questions as to whether she feels that she's been purged or not. She's saying, look, this is the nature of the ANC. At some point, she says she was the chief whip of the ANC in the legislature. She was deployed to parliament and she was brought to the province. To her, she is saying that this is nothing new and she doesn't feel like she is being purged by the new leaders of the ANC. Let's listen to Sisi Ntombela.
Let me start by saying all of us, fortunately, I grew in the ANC. I'm not more than 40 years in the ANC. I understand how ANC works. And, in ANC, I understand how there is a deployment and redeployment, and it is not for the first time for me to be redeployed. If some of you can remember, I was once the chief whip of the Free State, and I was redeployed to a National Assembly, and in National Assembly I was also redeployed back to the Free State. That's our life. If you are a politician, you must understand this thing. So Mona, there is no kingdom. Any time is tea time. So if the decision of the leaders have just decided to say, no, Ntombela, we are now redeploying you to somewhere, then I must just abide with the rules of the African National Congress. So there is no harm, comrades. That's how we work. We understand these things, and we don't have any harm against it. So I am redeployed, and I'm accepting it 100%.
All right, Moloko Moloto, live for us in Bloemfontein. Thank you. Let's leave it there for now.